Hi. So I wanted to show my homemade router table. I have a Rockler router table. It's got a metal base and wheels and thick top and aluminum fence, and I would take it to the job site and it was very cumbersome. And I thought, you know, I have some scrap material, and I got this plate a long time ago from Lee Valley, and I never installed it on anything. And then I got one of these Bosch routers, and with the beauty of this Bosch router it comes with this wrench. You can adjust it from above the table, and I thought, boy, that's the perfect router to put this base on and then make a top. I had all this is scrap, so altogether the cost of this, including this, is about 160, 170 bucks. This thing I think runs with shipping and all that, you're going to be 50 bucks or so into this top, and then otherwise I just have some knobs and stuff from reedsupply.com. I did get one of these, so I'm maybe 220 into it. That includes the router, and then otherwise all of this stuff is just scrap. So I'm going to deconstruct it. I've been doing some routing. I'm making some deadmans for some railing that I got to install. And when I make jigs, I like to, you know, put a little finish touch on it. I got to handle it, and hopefully they last for a few jobs. And if you make good jigs, they tend to pay off. So I wanted to show this and then deconstruct it. And what I did here too, I got this idea from Ask Woodman. So I'm going to deconstruct it. But I got my own little homemade dust collection here. I have this vacuum, and it still creates dust, but it's mostly just chips and not the fines. The air stays clean, and so that's great. But it just is hooked up to a shop vac, and I have this little attachment you can get at Home Depot, and then I put the long one here so I can connect that, and you know, that you saw how that goes in there, and you know, that works pretty good. I use the dust collection in this configuration, and I'll show you in a second why. But here, if you haven't seen or heard of on the YouTubes, the Ask Woodman, you should subscribe, and check him out if you like this kind of stuff, because he's got tons of good suggestions. And he's got a cute little dog named Poppy that he shows on the videos sometimes. Anyway, so I just drilled a 3-inch hole in that. But this is one thing I was talking about, Ask Woodman. I picked up this idea from him. You can use one of these hand screws, and how he uses it is he puts it on his homemade MFT top, and then he can hold a board. You can put a board in like this, and then clamp this down with the dog holes, and you know, hold something on edge like that. And for any situation where you have something here that you want to put something like that, you can put this on it and then clamp that to that. And I've used this idea on all kinds of stuff to fixture things while I'm working on it. So all this is a 2 pieces of 1/2-inch MDF. I laminated them together because that's what I had, is 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch obviously wood isn't going to be enough. And I even think if I had 3/4, I probably would have laminated 2 3/4 together and made a much thicker one. But I had 1/2 inch, and 1 inch is enough. I wouldn't have used just one piece of 3/4. But when I'm on the job site, I just put this on two sawhorses, and I clamp it down to the sawhorses. I have it turned around from the way I normally use it, but this, again, Lee Valley, and it comes with a little instruction sheet let me unplug this first, to make the hole for it. It has a little trammel, but it fits real tightly in there. And you also, the big thing on it too is it'll go through that way, but I never I never take it through that way. I can just take it out like this. But here's what this is the part. I'm not going to move it because I'm set up right now on my bit height. So I have the MDF. You make the hole here. I just clamp this down when I'm using it in the shop. But if you look around the back side, I routed these grooves before I laminated the stuff together, and you can even see this piece didn't even make it full way, so I just glued another little piece of scrap in there, and it works fine. And what this is these little T-screws that are like this. I ordered them on Rockler.com. I've looked for other spots, but this is the good thing for making jigs. And I'll order several sizes, like 20 each, and keep them in a box with these kind of knobs and stuff, 5/16 by 18, quarter 20, some 3/8, 2 for different jigs and whatnot. I grab some of these and use them regularly when I'm making my little jig parts. So I'm gonna clamp this down for a second so I can show you the fence assembly. So here, these, let me take these off here. And this is just all scrap. I used I have a piece of 3/4, and then I dominoed it. In here is dominoes, and put a piece of 1/2 inch on because that's like a sub fence. And I didn't want to use too long of the T-bolts in here. So these again from Reed Supply, and these ones they hold this down, but they also make these split fences so you can bring it in on your bit here. So this is the way I normally use it, is I would have it on this side. So the router bit is in here. You can bring these down. This thing I got it at Rockler, but this, when I'm using it in somebody's garage, the job site where I don't want to make dust or something, you can put that right in there, and that goes on there, and it works good. So just this scrap, its design is based on the Rockler fence that I still use, but I keep this more portable. It's just an L shape of plywood here. I used 1/2 inch for this part, and then these, I take these off, and there's a T-slot in there. You can get a router bit for that. I plunge a straight groove, and then I use the T-slot, and that fits perfect for these holes. You can see my dominoes are in here to hold it. You can see where I screwed up, where I was trying to make this hole here, and I was trying to freehand it, and I screwed this part up, but it really doesn't matter. So that's the way that works. I've had this for a while already. It's been out to the job site many times. It's pretty durable. These slots, since these kind of stay captured in here, you can just move them back. So the point is that I made this hole offset to one side. So when you're using it where you're in the bit, where the bit is in here, then you have a little more space to run your material and whatnot. And if you need to work out further to make grooves or whatnot, where you're not using the bit inside of here, then what you can do is just you move these things down like this and turn it to the other side. Then it gives you more space. Gives you more distance from the bit to to the fence by moving this back further. So that's why that is like that. And that's it. That's my little homemade router table. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching.